Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations because we're breaking away from the one we're in now. You've tuned into a live tarot throw. Today is November 16th, 2025. And it is also the second day of the 12 days of the 12 laws of karma. So today we continue our countdown with karma law number 11, the law of patience and reward. Great rewards always take time and persistence. I have your tarotlogical forecast for the upcoming week. So let's go to the tarot cam. How are we doing here? All right, so we'll return to the 11th law of patience. The 11th law of karma, the law of patience and reward in a moment. Before we start throwing cards, why don't we take a look at the decks that are available? I did list them in the chat for anyone who's tuning in live. We have the Robin Hood Tarot, which is what I'm going to start the show with. We have the Classic Tarot, Breakaway Ray's crib sheet cards, the ones with all the words on them that help me learn, because I've only been throwing cards since March. And then I'm enjoying entertaining the audience with the different decks that I have, because we get to see some wonderful images. So I want to remind everyone I have the Mermaid Tarot deck. I have the Old Style Tarot deck. I have the fan favorite, the Black Foil deck, and the Ethereal Balloon deck. I'm really excited about all these decks because they're all very beautiful cards with fantastic imagery and lots to learn from. So let's move these aside for right now and get to your tarotlogical forecast. We're going to throw a pair of cards for each of the upcoming work week days. And then we're going to find out if there's a message for us to remember as we go through the work week. So I've got my bulletin board already here. I've got a up-to-date turkey for us all. And now I get adventurous. And I'm going to use the Robin Hood Tarot deck. It's the basic one besides the Classic Tarot deck. If you're going to throw tarot cards and learn how to read tarot cards, this is one of the ones you have to learn. So if I'm going to be for real, I got to practice. Thanks for enjoying the show and watching me practice, everybody. I bet anyone who's been tuning in for a long time or has seen one of my shows starting in August, you probably see a lot of changes, a lot of modifications. Ooh, somebody just popped out there. That's going to be our first. Well, you know what? Let's move this one over here because that might be like the key to the rest of these adventures. We got plenty of cards. There's 78. So let's throw 5 pairs of cards now and take a look at this one and see how they all tie in. I didn't think that's what was going to happen today, but that's what I'm doing. All right, so I'm still learning how to do this, everybody. The top card is for Monday. The bottom card is for Friday. Okay, we'll put that guy up there. We'll call him the master key for right now. And now I can randomly select cards that fill in the rest of the week. So here's for Monday. I'm going to do a fan and a cut for Tuesday. In case a card pops out, then that's the one I use. But right now I'm just going to fan and cut. We're looking for messages from the tarot world to help us through the work week. Help remind us that the spirit world is always with us. And the spirit world sees what's coming. It's another lesson that we're all going to learn from. We need one more for Friday here. All right. This is all for entertainment purposes only. And if you're tuning in, you're entertained. Thanks for joining the show. So still scoping out this is good. We'll just put them over there for right now, next to the classic deck. Great. Next to my organite pyramid. Here we go. Should we throw a little light on the subject? We got a lot of daylight right now coming in through my windows. Oh, but that throws a little light on the subject. That's good. The first card up All right. This do you remember when I was reading the 11th law of karma? Well, here's the Knight of Pentacles, and he represents the 11th law of karma. This is no joke. This is the guy that does hard work and he gets a reward. He's the one that embodies that spirit of slow and steady wins the race. Very nice, tarot world. You could tell the tarot world is already on top of things, right? They're already paying attention to whatever it is I'm supposed to be saying. They're actually helping me say it. Here I go. On Monday, let's see what happens. We have, oh, wow. These are beautiful. I'm laughing because it's too funny how magical these cards are. So the first card that we got was this one, actually. Let me get my glass. Yeah, it's the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is the happy surprise guy. And what a beautiful image with the colors in the background on the shore. So yeah, there's the Page of Cups, the happy surprise guy. And then look at this at the beginning of the week. It's the Fool, the beginning of the whole deck, the beginning of the major arcana. It's so much the beginning, and it's card number 0. So here you are on Monday, everybody. At the very beginning, we should all expect a happy surprise. It goes back to that old idea of, if you're looking for the silver lining, you're going to find it. If you're looking for problems, you're going to find those too. So organize your mindset. I expect a happy surprise. I am happy to begin this work week. Looks like someone else is happy about it too. Look at this guy. He's all excited for you. Your companion. All right. Let's see what happens on Tuesday. Great. Yeah, I'm glad I turned on the camera today. So on Tuesday, everybody, we have the Two of Pentacles. That's the guy. Could he be any more secret space program? He's walking through this. Hey, where am I going here? Here we go. I'm getting oriented here. I'm sorry, that's the Chariot card. We have the Two of Pentacles and the Chariot. The Chariot talks about movement, especially in the correct direction. And you see that the Chariot also has 2 horses. And, just as a suggestion, the 2 horses could represent everybody's 2 lives. You have one horse that's your private and your home life. And then you have the other horse that is your work life. And both of them propel you to your goal, which goes along with the Two of Pentacles up top. He's got multiple priorities and he's trying to balance everything while he walks over the sky, and there's that unusual craft in the sky behind him. All right, so on Tuesday, it may feel like you're juggling a lot, but you're doing a good job. You're controlling both horses, you're aiming them in the right direction, and you're juggling both pentacles, and you're still able to walk on that tightrope in a precarious situation. So have confidence. Keep going. You're doing great on Tuesday. And all of these messages coordinate with our Knight of Pentacles up here. All right, what happens on Wednesday? Sometimes in the United States, we call it Hump Day. It's the middle of the week. Oh, wow. So on Wednesday, we see the Death card, which represents endings, beginnings, and changes and transformations. And maybe it's a result of the Four of Cups, where things get reevaluated and you're observing a moment of repose. And that kind of sounds like something you would do in the middle of the week. You would take a look at what happened the last 2 days and reorganize, do an in-flight correction, and then get ready to finish the rest of the week in a slightly different way, in a modified, more improved way, perhaps. Let's go to Thursday. Here's a pair of cards for Thursday. We have the Nine of Swords. That's the sleepless nights person. Suggests that there's some kind of anxiety. And then there's the Hierophant. I apologize. I'm going to have to make sure I pronounce that correctly. I believe there's 2 pronunciations based on the spellings that I understand. Hierophant, maybe in a French way. Hierophant. I'm sure I pronounced that correctly. But anyway, the Hierophant, the guy up on top there, he kind of looks like a pope. He's the learned man, and he understands society, and he represents social acceptance. Here's something that's interesting. I don't remember seeing this in other versions of tarot, but there's a couple of children right in front of the Hierophant. That's not on the classic tarot deck, I don't think. So maybe we learn something, and it causes us a little bit of worry or concern. And I'm going to say that's a good thing, everybody. It shows that you're empathic. It shows that you're paying attention. So it's okay when you have emotions like that, recognize why they come about and recognize how valuable they are. They're helping to point you in the right direction, right? And maybe if you're a parent, I'm just making another if here. If you're a parent, you learn something about your kids. Oh no, we got a project coming up on Friday. We got to get it done. All right. So I got my regular job and I'm a parent and I'm going to help you with this project on Friday. Don't worry, we're going to get it done. Let's see what happens on Friday. We have the Page of Wands and the King of Swords. Cool. The Page of Wands. I'm going to bust out the book for these guys. Yeah, I've already got it busted out. It's right here. Let's look up the Page of Wands in the Robin Wood Tarot book. All right, stand by, everybody. All right, so you know what? I've turned to the swords. So let's check in with the King of Swords first. King of Swords, a perceptive, intelligent, and strong-willed man is indicated. And then the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, a child with too much energy, a faithful or loyal person, a stranger explodes into the seeker's life with good intentions, a great idea leading to success, a good employee. So there were a lot of meanings for this Page of Wands. I kind of want to review it very quickly. A child with too much energy, but a faithful and loyal person. A stranger exploding into the world with good intentions. Dad, I wanted to tell you about the project, but I thought I could do it by myself and you were kind of busy, but now, I need it done. Can you help? And then maybe this is your chance to be the King of Swords, the responsible parent, to help guide the way for a young person who is ambitious and wants to do a good job and contribute. Well, everybody, all these 5 stories may apply to the 11th law of karma, which we're about to review in a moment. So I want to say thanks to the Tarot World for those interesting stories. Thanks to everyone tuning in live and anyone catching this recording. Those messages were for you from the Tarot World. Let's give these cards a toss. And there we go. Hi, everybody. So here's the plan in case you're new to STARCARD Podcast. In about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, I'm going to check the chat and see if anyone makes any requests for a tarot reading. I've already reviewed with you which decks are available. If you don't make a request, I'll just use the one that I like because I'm still learning. Anyway, after we go through my observation of karmic law number 11, we'll get to the tarot for the audience in your individual reading. So today I'm looking at the law of patience and reward, and it says great rewards always take time and persistence. In order to understand what I'm thinking about, I'm going to go to my notebook and write down words so I can see what's on my mind. And I'm going to take the 11th law of karma into consideration while I think and while I write. All right, so we're going to go back downstairs. You recognize the book if you've seen any of the shows this past week. This is my journaling notebook where I'm writing down goals and objectives. I guess you're going to be watching me write upside down for a moment. Here I set up an Eingang und Ausgang for my dream journals. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn to a fresh, clean page. I'm going to grab my pen. And then I'm going to go ahead and write the 11th law of karma up on the top of my page. I'm just going to, for this part, I'm just going to write law of patience and reward. I never regret writing a date on the paper. So this always helps me, even later on, to observe growth. I came across a notebook the past week from 2017, 2018, 2019. I don't know why I still have it, but it helped me see what I was thinking back then. Anyway, law of patience and reward. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something I've done in my previous career, which is I'm going to give you an example of how I might observe this and then communicate to my subconscious, check in with my subconscious and see how I'm doing. My subconscious, my higher self. So with the law of patience and reward, what am I working on over the long haul? I wonder if I can get a better pen that'll help you see it better. Here we go. Let's try this one. Well, obviously anyone who's tuning in is thinking, Breakaway Ray must be thinking about his STARCARD podcast. And a lot of people would say, there's no way Breakaway Ray means what he says here. So let's go upstairs and I'll tell you what I think I mean, and you can tell me if I'm not telling the truth to myself. So I'm doing this podcast. I get a chance to share what I know. I've had many years of study and many years of practice, sharing and teaching. It's a waste not to use it. And if this is the best venue, then I am blessed that the universe sent this to me. This is not what I was expecting to do, but I imagine like 80 to 90% of everyone on the planet right now is thinking to themselves, this is not what I was planning, because the world is changing very quickly, right? So I'm going to keep on doing what seems to be easy and graceful for me. Turn on the camera, put on a tie first, come up with some lesson plan, something to say, something that's worthwhile, and then turn on the camera. And I guess anyone who matches that vibration, anyone who's ready to hear what I have to say, they're going to find my STARCARD podcast. They're going to listen to what I have to say. And I hope it helps somebody. That's great. Am I likely to make money on this? No. Do you know a lot of podcasters to make money? No. Okay. Now, I'm lucky because I saved for a rainy day and I pretty much bought myself this opportunity to do this kind of thing. But now I want to return to some of my other goals. I really think that I'm meant to be on stage. I know I'm on stage now, right? But I mean like on stage in front of a live audience. And because I do interact well, not just with people in the same room when we have a discussion that's organized, but also I can work crowds. For many years, I always had the microphone. More than 40 years. I started in summer camp. Well, that's another story. So now here I am. I'm the host of STARCARD Podcast, and I'm observing other people on YouTube as I'm checking out what's going on, right? And I should never compare myself to anyone else. So anyway, let's go downstairs. I'm going to go compare myself to somebody else. Yeah, so what I'm going to say is, I imagine a goal of the podcast would be to get a lot of viewers and subscribers. And that would be, of course, if I was really interested in finances, and it's not that critical to me. So I'm not doing anything just so I get paid or so that I become popular. I'm doing what's what's coming out of my head. I'm pretty isolated. Anyway, I kind of like what I'm doing. It's still fun for me. It's like writing a diary, only everyone in the world gets to see it forever. So anyway, the law of persistence and reward. All right. Here's where I compare myself to someone else. And I'm going to set a goal here that I will reach a level of subscribers and viewers equal to the people I see on YouTube who sit in their car with a t-shirt on and share generalities which put their viewers in a trance. So yeah, I am teasing other YouTubers right now. Who knows how long it will take? Some psychic I've consulted with and lots of people in my life say, Breakaway Ray, you're going to live a long time. So I got a long time to work on this law of patience and reward. I'm not sure, again, whether the level of subscribers and viewers is really so important to me. Let's throw in another one. How about exposure may give some people the idea that I would be a very satisfactory master of ceremonies because I've had 4 decades of practice. Okay, what I like about this is that this is not normally how I write. Usually I handwrite and I don't write with a marker. But this is great for today's podcast, right? You guys can all see what I wrote. And I'm assessing like 2 long-term goals here, reaching a level of subscribers and viewers, but also the exposure that might open up other opportunities for me. So that's one way to think about the law of patience and reward. The idea is you got a long way to go, but you only got today to work with. So start today. What are you going to do? Get out that chariot card, move forward. All right. What I might want to do is check back with this some other day. Like if I'm doing the 12 days of the 12 laws of karma in November, maybe in December or January, I can review these and see how I'm doing and how I feel. Maybe I will have learned something. Maybe I will have felt an emotion that is different, and I might reevaluate what I have to say here. All right. And I'm going to say this to the camera with eye contact. I am very grateful to all of you for watching STARCARD Podcast, and I'm especially grateful if you subscribed. So thank you very much. I'm trying to make it worth your while. All right, so now we're going to ask the tarot world to comment on the law of patience and reward, the 11th law of karma. In a way, it already did, right, when it did the tarotlogical forecast for us. But now we're going to ask the tarot world just to give us a quick message again about the law of patience and reward. Let's go back downstairs. Yeah, you guys can see how exciting it gets with all your colorful emojis. Thanks a lot. Very funny. All right, tarot world, now's your chance. Here we go. How about a fun, helpful message about the 11th law of karma? Everybody's watching, tarot world. Here you go. Tell us all about the 11th law of karma, please. The law of patience and reward. Makes me think of things like the marshmallow test. Makes me think of things like pursuing a college degree, because that's at least 4 years, usually more for most people nowadays. Patience and reward, raising a child. Oh my goodness. How about a whole year at school? You know, you got to get through 11th grade or 12th grade. Nobody under the age 18 should be watching this right now. Here I go. Tarot World's going to comment on the 11th law of karma, the law of patience and reward. Thank you. I think we could do it in 5 cards. Great. Hey, everybody, we're doing good. Let's check out what these cards have to say. All right. First up, well, the Wheel of Fortune. Cycles going up and down. Good luck, bad luck, luck is luck. Ooh, the King of Pentacles. All right, so when we talk about royalty, right, people are born into it, but we know of all kinds of people who are born into money and they blow it. So I'm going to say that if this guy's the King of Pentacles and he looks like he's this wealthy, he's been working at it for a while. You know, that's his reward. Okay, the law of patience and reward. You know, you get lucky one day, you get a Christmas bonus, a holiday bonus, for example, and you sock it away into that savings account. Bam, you just got lucky. Now you're sitting on something. I wonder if we're going to see the Four of Pentacles show up. Well, I love it. It's the Page of Cups guy. It's the happy surprise guy. He's back again, socking it away, thinking about the future. You'll be surprised at how much you have built up. This is great news for anyone like in their 20s, because you have the advantage over everybody else. You have time, okay? And you could start building up things right now. I'll get this light better. Always with the light. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, wow. Check that out. Then the Queen of Pentacles shows up. You have the King and Queen of Pentacles like parents, and they're on either side of the happy surprise guy. The Queen of Pentacles, by the way, she's not just materially, abundant, but she's sharing it, and she's a responsible parent. She's a working parent. Again, these are responsible adults. Okay, they're not like the college kid that plays sports and then blows their $1 million contract before they hit 26 years old. But anyway, let's see how it ends up. Yeah, everybody, you have a powerful brain. You have a powerful consciousness. You can concentrate on more than one thing at a time. And if you turn off the TV, you could probably concentrate on more. If you put down the phone, if you cut your phone time in half, that means you have to cut your STARCARD podcast time in half too, I suppose. But if you cut your phone time in half, you're going to increase your mental capacity. And then you'll be able to see long distances and plan ahead and plan for your own luck and your happy surprises. It's the law of patience and reward. I like it, Tarot World. Thank you very much for that message. Keeping it smooth and easy on a Sunday of November. Wow, we're almost done with November. This is crazy. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's get organized and see who wants a reading. Here we go. Hang on. All right, I'm happy to do readings for you, everybody. I'm going to go into the chat now, and I'm going to scroll around and look for messages from people who want readings. And you still have a chance to put your request in. I'll be looking at the bottom corner of the screen where the chat comes in. I've got a few turkeys left. I'll write names on them until I run out of turkeys. And then, everyone will see who I'm throwing cards for. This is a team effort. A lot of groupthink going on. So thanks, everybody, all you live viewers, for participating and helping me out. Let's see who wants a reading. Oh, there's Heavenly Cups. Hi, Heavenly Cups. Good to see you again. Hi, Ascending Universal Butterfly. I appreciate that spirit. I know we're all having fun in the chat. Let's see. I see that both of you have hit the top fans button, so I'm presuming you want a reading. So I'm going to go ahead and write down your names. There's a Nin Holland. Hi, Nin Holland. Thanks for joining us. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to read the chat after the show. I'm glad you're all having a good time. I'm just looking for tarot messages right now. I see Namira Nin Holland. Got it. Heavenly Cups. I'm going to write your name down. See who else we have here. Oh, yeah. Ascending Universal Butterfly. All right. I'm going to scroll around in the chat a little bit more here. Okay, Heavenly Cups wants the Robin Wood deck. Let me write that down. Thank you, Heavenly Cups. Good message. Good capital letters. And thank you, thank you, Heavenly Cups, for complimenting me on my attire. I appreciate it. Well, so far I only see the three of you: Nin Holland, Ascending Universal Butterfly, and Heavenly Cups. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and throw for Namira first. Nin Holland. Here we go. All right, great. Yeah, you're welcome, Namira, Nin Holland. Here I go. I'm going to, wait a second. Cinematography is important. All right. All right, Tarot World, here's your chance to send another fun, helpful, inspirational message to our friend, Nin Holland. Thank you very much, Tarot World. People tune in for your help. Great messages every time. Never nebulous, always clear. A fun, helpful, inspirational message for our friend Nin Holland, please. Thank you, Tarot World. These cards are for Nin Holland. Yeah, one more. On the 7th day, we'll give you 7 cards. Is it the 7th day or was that Saturday? I want to garble my biblical verse. Great. Here's a theme. We're starting off, Nin Holland, with the Hierophant, the learned man. Oh, now I see the 2 smaller figures. They're students down there. I do see them now. Okay. Wasn't looking at that. Well, these guys, they got skull caps on or they got the same balding pattern. Anyway, it's the learned man. It's social acceptance. It's society and its rules. Woo. And the 4 of Pentacles talks about holding on to what is valuable. Not sure why, but when I was thinking of social rules and holding on to money, I'm thinking about taxes. Here in the United States, people don't sweat that stuff until late March and April. I don't know about out there in the Netherlands. I'm not even sure this applies, but let's read the rest of the cards and see what's happening. Yay. The Knight of Swords. He's electrically charged. He's defending his beliefs. Ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast-thinking, defending beliefs. Whatever's going on, you're either on it or you're going to get on it. That is, you're going to address it. This is almost like, just to make very light of it, this is kind of like you got like an incorrect charge on your credit card. And now you got to get on the computer or call the toll-free line and take care of whatever happened. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, more conflict. It's the 5 of Wands, guys. They're these guys are they're a bunch of ballet dancers. They're not really hurting each other, but they sure look dramatic with their pretend conflict. I wonder which song is playing. Maybe something from Swan Lake. And the Page of Pentacles, we saw this fella before. He's the good student. He's trying really hard. He's very loyal. And he also, the Page of Pentacles, talks about financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, and diligence. If this is a financial opportunity and it relates to this, then I'd like to pause and share another dynamic. Hang on. Hey, Namira, Nin Holland. This happened way back in the 90s to me. I got my first house, very lucky. But I bought the house and the seller did not disclose he was broken. So as soon as I moved into my new house, the first thing out of the gate was I had to go to court. I went to small claims court and I didn't get all that I needed to repair the chimney. And it was quite an aggravation for a couple of years dealing with this, but it finally went away. However, I learned from that lesson, right? So when we're in the thick of it, it's not fun, but eventually you're going to use the tools that you learn from this adventure. It might help you somewhere down the line. That was not the first time I've had to deal with something like that. That was kind of like that was like a nice thing for me to cut my teeth on regarding United States law and property and things like that. Now I'm really thick in it, and that's a conversation for another day, maybe off camera. Anyway, back to your reading. Let's go downstairs. Wow. And then the Tower card shows up. So there's something, we have to cancel that charge on the credit card. They didn't make it easy, but now I know how to do it. And then next time that stuff happens, the Tower card, something crumbles, something's not right, something needs to fall down, okay? It's going to be okay because the Knight of Pentacles, yay, look at that magic. The Knight of Pentacles says, you're the valued employee. You are a hard worker. You're the person everyone wants to hire. You know what you're doing. You have experience. Look at how well-trained your horse is, your vehicle. So you're all prepared to handle these situations. Anyway, it was a fun story for me to share. I hope it was fun for you, Namira. Thanks very much for tuning in. I always appreciate how you invite me to read. All right. There we go. Next, bird. Heavenly Cups. You're up. And I'm going to get you the Robin Wood deck right after I give these a toss. Yeah, you're welcome, Ninho. And I appreciate your feedback. Thank you. All right. So now these are for Heavenly Cups. Oops. Heavenly Cups. Oh, I see your message, Heavenly Cups. You're right. Ascending Universal Butterfly was before you, but we have plenty of time, and it's a small group. And if I was Ascending Universal Butterfly, I would just say to myself, hey, Breakaway Ray is saving the best for last. I get to be the finale. Okay. Here I go. So these are for you, Heavenly Cups. Thank you again, Namira. I'm going to enjoy reading the chat and see what I'm missing. But I am catching a few notices. Hey, Heavenly Cups, look what popped out for you here. It's the Ace of Wands. So let's get started with that. A fun, helpful, inspirational message for Heavenly Cups, please. Great colors on these cards. Here we go, Heavenly Cups. So the Ace of Wands talks about there being magic in the air. And I'm going to read right out of the book real quick. By the way, this deck is very reasonably priced. And this book is very easy to read. I mean, they fit sometimes 3 on 2 pages, and the words are very pithy. It's a very good, quick description. So let's take a look at the Ace of Wands. Almost there. Ace of Wands, a beginning, fertility, birth, growth, life, energy, virility, inheritance, adventure. And again, I always like the magic in the air part. Let's see what else is going on for you, Heavenly Cups. Ooh, the 7 of Swords talks about something being hidden, or maybe there's going to be a revelation, alternatively. Wow. You know what's hidden? The Ace of Cups says it's like a new life. Let's read what it says in the Robin Wood Tarot deck about the Ace of Cups. Something is hidden. Wait a minute. Hang on. All right, so I guess the cups are in the back here. Here we go. The Ace of Cups. Joy, abundance, perfection, fertility, fulfillment, good things overflowing, fullness, favorable outlook, faithfulness, and love. Something is revealed, and it's filled with love. There's magic in the air. It's all for entertainment purposes only. I'm just some guy throwing cards on the internet. Get out of here. Is this the Page of Swords? All right, here's the Page of Swords. New ways of communicating. Again, I want to go to the book for this. The Page of Swords, vigilance, agility, insight, keen vision, service done in secret. The seeker obtains the help of a younger person. Service done in secret. You got two secrets going on here. Something's hidden. It's very wonderful, whatever it is. And something else is going on in secret. I don't want to explore this. This is your business. I'm just throwing cards. I'm telling a story. I might have it all wrong. This one is the Knight of Pentacles. I think we've seen this fella on every deck so far, almost every throw. The Knight of Pentacles. Let's read what it says in the book. Very fascinating. Knight of Pentacles, a mature man, responsible, reliable, utilitarian, a person who will help the seeker, honorable, solid. Wow. So someone's hiding something and someone wants to help with that hiding. Maybe there's a surprise. Maybe you're planning a surprise party. You're planning a little magical surprise party for somebody. Okay. Wow. Something's going to happen soon, says the Eight of Wands. These, by the way, both talk about travel. I don't know if that's related. And then finally, this talks about the end. This is the Ten of Swords, the end of a painful episode. Well, this was hidden, or it is hidden. It's going to stay hidden. And then very soon, maybe it'll be revealed, and that'll be the end of a painful episode. You won't have to hide anything anymore. I don't know. It's fun throwing the cards and telling a story. I hope that was fun for you, Heavenly Cups. Good luck to you. Thank you very much for inviting me to read. Great, Heavenly Cups. Thank you very much. All right, and now finally, it's Ascending Universal Butterfly. She's very enthusiastic in the chat right now. Did you request, you like the black foil deck, I think, don't you? All right. Here you go, Ascending Universal Butterfly. Look at where I cut. Again, happy surprise, guy, the Page of Cups. Here we go, Tarot World. How about a fun, helpful, inspirational message for the enthusiastic Ascending Universal Butterfly, a regular viewer? Thank you, Tarot World, for helping me to make Ascending Universal Butterfly's day. Why not? It's a beautiful Sunday out here on the West Coast. Hope you're all enjoying it around the planet whenever you're watching this show. Thanks for joining me today. Here we go. These cards are for Ascending Universal Butterfly. Ooh, look at that guy. He wants to come out. These cards are for Ascending Universal Butterfly, all right? Yeah. And one more. Here we go, Ascending Universal Butterfly. First up, it's the King of Cups, the empathic leader. Maybe we should read the Robin Hood Tarot deck about it, get another clue. All right, the cups are in the back. King of Cups, a kind, considerate man, a father figure, a person interested in the arts, balanced, a deep man with a quiet demeanor, quiet power. That's better. Oh, yeah, your cards look good this way. That's incandescent light and daylight, baby. Next up, oh, it's the Five of Wands dancers. Let's all hit some sticks together and make some noise and look real dramatic. But we don't want to get hurt. It's all just for show. It's just drama. Next up, look at this. this is what happens, right? If you've been watching the show over and over and over again, the same cards keep coming up, different decks, different people. The 10 of Swords, the end of a painful episode. The King of Cups is just sitting there watching these guys do their thing. And then when they're done, we move on to the next row. Wow. Well, there's going to be some boo-boos. The Three of Swords says there's some heartache. Then the Wheel of Fortune, again, you see all these cards keep coming up. The Wheel of Fortune talks about luck. So now the cycle's going to change. We had the conflict. We had the end of a painful episode. We still got, we're a little sore. We're probably going to feel better after a couple of weeks, put a little ice on that knee. And now the whole cycle is going to turn around, right? Because it's karma. Things got to get balanced out. Yay. It's the Two of Cups, the strength of two together. Maybe even direct communication with the spirit world. And finally, maybe you got the Lover's card and you got the Two of Cups card. And these cards are both Breakaway Ray's cards for direct communication from the spirit world. Were we really saving the best throw for last year? So I'm guessing this is a real message for you I don't know anybody or anything, but maintain the energy of the King of Cups while all around you people have their drama and their experiences, which are real and legitimate, and there are real heartaches involved because things balance out. Says the spirit world to you who loves you. Right on, Ascending Universal Butterfly. I don't see anyone else requesting a reading. I'm glad I got a chance to check in with everybody. I look forward to reading the entertaining chat. And I hope you all have a great Sunday. Remember, I've already given you your Tarotlogical forecast, and I tend not to show up on Mondays, but we are going to try to show up a couple of days each week and at least one day on the weekend to give you messages from the tarot world. I have put in the description the link to Psychic Liz Cross and Breakaway Ray meet Queen Califia of the island of California. I'm sharing that one again because in case anyone hasn't seen it, I don't want it to get lost in the Tarotpedia part, the Tarotpedia playlist. I think that's one that might catch fire. It might appeal to a lot of people, has some very fascinating messages I don't hear from other places. So whatever goes on in your life, get out your notebook, study the laws of karma, have a good time, relax today, and then have a great work week. Thanks again for watching, and like, share, and subscribe. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.